Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where we're doing a track-by-track listen through to every single song from the just digitally released right now album by Band-Maid, Unseen World. Anyway, we're on to track number 2. If you haven't checked out track number 1, then it's there. There should be a playlist in the description below as well. Now, track number 2 is No God. As always, this is the review video. If you want to see the reaction I just did, pause this video, click the link in the description below. It'll open up a separate little player where you can watch the song with me in case you haven't heard it yet, or if you just want to see my face reacting when I first hear it. Otherwise, here comes the review, so don't say I didn't warn you. Watch the reaction if you need to. Too late. Here comes the review. Right, so this one was an interesting one because, like I said, I didn't know which direction it would go on the second track. You can either, you can go in any direction. You could go in a completely different U-turn, like some bands do, to make the next track really different, to immediately start showcasing variation. Or you can go for something which is a little bit different, go heavier, lighter, so many choices. In this one, I was quite interested. They went in, I like this song on first listen. I like it for most of the same reasons that I liked Warning. It does actually feel almost a little bit similar in a lot of the routes it takes, and yet it does have its own identity. Now, pace-wise, it's very immediately doing the same thing. It's very, very fast. It also uses a similar technique with the call and answer whoa backing vocals. That's done the same. It goes through a similar thing with the with the riff at the beginning, verse with the call and answer, like I say. Then you get a build-up in the pre-chorus, chorus. It kind of goes around that same sort of route. There are a few things that sets this apart. Like I say, first of all, there seems to be a slightly different intent. Now, both songs are based on this sort of real high energy urgency, which is lovely. That's something you really want to hear from rock bands, especially rock bands who are a good few albums in. Often they lose their urgency. These girls still sound just as urgent, just as much like they have something to say as ever. However, the interesting thing is whereas the first song seems to be an urgent call of energy, it's sort of like a winning anthem. It's an anthem of, it just sounds like something big and proud. This one sounds a little bit more, like I said, a bit more unhinged, a little bit more crazy, a little bit like something's wrong. So that's nice. They are both using a similar musical technique to transmit slightly different emotions, I would say. Now, in this, I first want to say, really glad to hear a bass solo. Really nice to hear Misa doing a bass solo. It's not like we get to hear her do bass solos on the recordings much. That's usually just reserved for live, which I think is a bit unfair. It's almost like saying that, bass solos are only an exhibition thing. No, they're very, very musically relevant, just as much as a guitar solo. So I'm really happy they did that. Also like the fact that Akane was in there doing a little bit of drums, not too much to overpower it, but just little taps in here and there, little fills, just to sort of build up the energy underneath Misa's solo. I thought that worked really well. Loved the fact that it gave everything a little bit of a sort of rising energy. So that was really good. And overall, I think that Akane did a lot of good work really controlling the pace of this. Especially up to the build up to the end. There was a lot of bits where she was sort of building things up to that last chorus, where it just kind of worked a lot for me. The production again was really nice. There were little bits where, like at the end of the bass solo, with a little music box sound, as I could hear it coming. There was little bits here and there where the production was just put into accent things, but not too much. Again, sounds like a beautifully mixed song. I was really enjoying the mixing and production. The chorus on this came across to me as being slightly more catchy than the one on Warning. I have to go back and listen to them again. It could just be that I've only heard those songs now once each, and this was the most recent one I listened to. But this, at first, the chorus just felt like, okay, functional chorus. But then as it went round, I was like, actually, you know what? I could get into this. And it was a key change chorus as well, the old Japanese technique. There's some familiar Japanese techniques we always see with Band-Maid, but we're seeing a lot already in the first 2 tracks. Breakdown at the beginning of the last chorus, your flipped up second verses, of course your key change choruses. Really like it. So far, I've got to admit as well, one of the things I really like about this is that you're really getting to see everyone showing off what they can do. Miku's contribution to this, she's the core of the group. She tends not to be anything that stands out as being particularly impressive. She's just there to solidify the sound. And what I like here is that she's very much holding down the rhythm really well. She's providing a lot of the backing vocals as far as I can hear, which is great. So she's active on the microphone side as well. She really is the glue between the bricks on this one. It's not glue, it's mortar. You know what I mean? So she's really holding it all together there. Like I say, Akane's doing a fantastic job of accenting things, but also controlling the rhythm, allowing the rhythm to move, keeping the song sounding dynamic. Kanami so far has had really interesting work. Like I say, her riff in the first song, Warning, was not so much notable as it was just perfectly subtle to build up the energy. And this one, she's got a lot of really crazy sort of guitar scales, which I loved. They're really sort of off-kilter, not the things you expect, and they give the song that sort of unhinged identity. Psyche's vocals so far have been on point every single step of the way. And like I say, Misa doing a great job as always. But I love the fact that we got to see her not only do her usual fantastic job of, again, supporting everything and doing like a kind of keeping the bottom of the songs together, but the fact that she had a solo where she stood to the front, I'm really happy. I wanted to hear that. It's kind of one of those things you don't really think actively, oh, I'm looking for a bass solo, but when you hear it, you're just like, yeah, you know what, that is something that we need some more from this band. So I'm really impressed by this. As well, so those are my opinions. I love where this is going. Certainly, this has got me off to a good, energetic start, but I am hoping as ever, as much as I love this, as much as these high-speed, high-paced, crazy, everything's going at once songs do appeal to my personal taste a bit. I've got a very low attention span, as you can tell by how quickly I talk. As much as they appeal to me, I am looking forward to some variation. I do want to hear Band-Maid doing some stuff on this album that they've never done before. We might have to wait a few more tracks in to get that. Now, anyway, the next track is Afterlife. I've already reviewed that. I'm going to put a playlist at the bottom, so if you are following us doing the track by track, you'll now skip over to the video of me doing the reaction to that, which is a slightly older one. So it's slightly out of, it'll be in chronological order for the album, but it'll be out of chronological order for how I record these. And then after that, we'll go back over to the next song that I'm reviewing, which I believe is Manners. So, if you've already seen my Afterlife reaction, skip a couple of the videos ahead to Manners. If not, then you're going to get an old video where I was reviewing that about a month ago, and then we'll skip forward. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, leave your comments at the bottom. I give my opinions as someone who's worked with music my entire adult life, but it doesn't mean my opinions are any more relevant than yours. Music is only as good as it is to the ears of the person who is listening. Just please justify your opinions as well so we can start a good conversation whether you agree or disagree. As always, liking, subscribing, greatly appreciated for all the YouTube reasons. All our other social medias are linked in the description below. A big thank you to our Patreons for keeping this non-monetized channel afloat. And all the posters, thank you. And thank you to you for making it through to the end of this video. So until I see you hopefully very soon in Japan for the next one of these, for now, ciao ciao.